Counselors, we are back in the counselor's office. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another Counselor Reacts. I don't have like a true intro. Maybe one day we'll do a real fancy intro. Listen, you shouldn't expect... I've been doing a lot of new editing and gimmicks and stuff like that, but I literally don't even have lights on this Christmas tree. Don't expect me to put that much effort because I'm usually lazy after work. Just fair warning. But today, after like 4 or 3 weeks, I had a viewer... part of the channel and on the Discord, by the way, if you want to check it out, link down below. Small Discord, slowly building up. Requested that I actually check out this video by Asmongold. Now, I have not watched Asmongold except for a minute clip that I reviewed for a game. It wasn't even about him. It was just about a video game. And I remember people talking, like I mentioned, I don't know who this is. And people were like, blaming me for not knowing who Asmongold is. Even though I don't watch people on Twitch. I just don't. I'm a YouTube kind of guy. I watch Netflix and or Amazon, Crunchyroll and all that stuff. That's as far as it goes. Like, I don't live habitually online, even though I do spend a lot of time on Twitter looking up things that involve like video games. So when people start telling me like, oh, you don't know, you don't know. I'm very petty and I haven't yet to watch anything Asmongold. In fact, I'm breaking my golden rule of my pettiness. This is how petty I am, by the way. Back in the day, when people started doing YouTube, I did a YouTube channel and I used to do like horror games. And I remember I uploaded and someone's like, oh my God, you're just another, your content seems just like PewDiePie. I had never watched PewDiePie, and to this day, like we were in 2024, I have yet to watch a single video of PewDiePie. By the way, after that comment, I stopped making YouTube videos. I was so like, screw this, I'm over it. Like, I was a child. I didn't like being people picking on me. I was like, leave me alone. But that's how petty I am. I've yet to watch. Maybe one day I'll watch a PewDiePie movie clip or video or whatever. Like, obviously, I've seen clips on YouTube, like the whole bridge and stuff like that. And I've seen some clips of, Asmongold. That's right. Talking about Asmongold. We have a video called Every Live Service Game is the Same, which is something interesting because I do a lot of reacts to Destiny. I play a lot of Destiny. I played Halo, which I noticed in his wall. He has Halo Reach, really solid game. I liked it. Halo 3 is my favorite. Halo 2 is a good second for me. I know I'm going off, but like when it comes to live services, I played Warframe and First Ascendant. I played some good live services games. I played some bad ones. I played some casual ones like Diablo 4, casually played that. So we're going to watch this video. I'm breaking my petty streak of not watching Asmongold. I'm trying to be better. No, I'm not. I'm just doing this because a viewer asked me to react to a video. So I figured, why not? Let's react. I've heard some good things about Asmongold. I've heard a lot of bad things about Asmongold. And there was like the whole deal about him talking about genocide and stuff like that. Like, I hear so much about people that I don't watch or know that I just tend to not care. I won't be honest. So let's see a fellow bearded man talk about video games. And maybe after this video, I'll come up to a conclusion whether I like him or not. I don't know. Or maybe I just will not care still. That's a possibility. Let's jump into it. Let's react.
MMOs and why I've been moving away from them.
Hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's start from the start.
It's me again. Today we're going to be talking about online video games, MMOs, and why I've been moving away from them. Just to make a correction, so people are like, "Oh, you play Destiny?" Destiny is not a real MMO. It's like an MMO light, or as I like to say, Destiny is like a first-person shooter with a Halloween mask that says MMO. That's Destiny. It's not a real MMO. Turning into a boomer playing single-player video games and feeling better than ever. How could this have possibly happened to me? And I want to talk about exactly, systematically, keep that word in mind, systematically how that's happened. Now, I want to warn you guys, before you watch this video, if you like playing a lot of online...
This reminds me of like the early 2000s, the webcam, and like it sounds like an Xbox mic. Like I've seen the clip, like I watched the clip, like this is not his normal setup, right?
Online video games, you love live service games, and you think anything the way that I do, be careful. Because after you see these patterns, I feel like there is no way to unsee the man behind the machine. So anyway, the big issue that I've had a lot with online video games is that it feels like it's building a castle on sand, it's building a castle on the beach, and then every 60 to 90 days, the tide comes in, washes your castle away, and the only thing you have left to show for it is maybe a cosmetic Fomo item for some seasonal event.
Holy crap. That's like, by the way, that's the thumbnail. There's your thumbnail. I'm not lazy for this video. I'm going to be honest. I'm just like, free thumbnail. No, I'm sorry. But he's correct, man. Like, I play Destiny and I have Stockholm Syndrome for this game. Let's just be honest. I have Stockholm Syndrome for this game. The foundation's fine. Like, he's talking about the foundation's bad. I think the foundation of like Destiny as a live service is fine, like the game itself. But underneath, there's like a foundation on the foundation. You have the game itself, but the game itself, as we're talking about it currently in like December, Destiny as a game has a great itself as this foundation, but underneath it, the live service aspect, the Bungie aspect is just crumbling away. So when that foundation crumbles away, the game itself, the pillars, everything starts shaking. Things are chipping off. You start, the other foundations starting to like teeter and dip. Like it's hard. Like that's the best way I can explain Destiny is that the game itself is fantastic. The driver's ass, right? You have a great car. The driver who's in it doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and all they're doing is causing the engine to overheat. You're causing wheels to fall off. You're not changing the oil. Like, there's a lot of issues going on, and it's the driver.
Oh boy, you don't want to miss those. There's a collection tab. You loot an apple, and it says 1 out of 634. Oh boy, are we having fun now. Oh, exciting. And so I've been seeing this with every single online game, and I'm like, what the fuck is...
I think that's very true. And like I've played First Descendant and other live service games similar to like Destiny, and it's just like I know I harp on Destiny, but Destiny is like the live service game that I am most experienced. 10K hours. Like I know this game, so I can give like actual perfect examples for what he's saying, and I can tell like the one thing I know about Asmongold that when people keep telling me is he's the WoW dude. He's the WoW guy. If you want to know about World of Warcraft, you go to this dude. And even has it on his shirt. Like he has WoW. I would say if you want to know about Destiny, I'm a guy that you can go to Destiny. Like I'm sure I'm not like Datto or Astacross or these name brand people, but I play nearly as much as they do, and I'm not even like a full-time streamer or anything like that. Like I'm your Joe Schmo, full master's degree, working in my full-time job, and I still play this game at a ungodly amount. I fully understand the live service. Yes, it is go to X and Y location, pick up X, Y, talk to person 1, then go pick up the task and go back to person 1, go person 2. Then you need to go to location 3. Oh, don't forget you have to stand for 3 minutes and defend this area while this thing is doing its thing. Then you need to get so many kills with this specific weapon or ability. And then you need to go pick up X and Y. Then you got to dunk this. Yeah, like, it is such a generic formula. Like I've seen other games do the exact same thing. It's just more other live service games take it to a whole nother level. Not all of them are the same, but it's literally the same aspect of we're just going to give you chores. It's not like actually like here's a boss fight. Here's just go do this generic quest for chores for padding time. Like in Destiny, they have their little content cycle called episodes currently. There's a thing like side objectives that you do. And one of them is go to this location, kill 15 enemies in 2 minutes. And you think to yourself, wow, it's a time thing. But when you come to realize that it's an open world area that's like easy, it's been around for years, And it's just this generic thing that they just dropped in there, and they're like, just do what you normally do, but do it in 2 minutes instead. That aspect is just bad. It's a lack of creativity. It's a lack of actually improving. It's like he said with the sand, it's crumbling away. And instead of like actually building up the foundation again, they just throw some sand on it and a couple of the crack locations, pat it down, spit on it, and hey, we're good. We're not going to do much more than that. We're just going to pat it and call it a day.
What's wrong with me? How am I letting myself get my time wasted on such a cataclysmic scale? By the way, 35,000 hours I've played World of Warcraft, okay? I don't regret a single.
Okay, so 35,000 got me beat by 10K with Destiny. I'm not that experienced. I don't even know if it's just because he streamed it, but my God, 35,000 is insane. But you've got to think WoW's been around longer than Destiny, and WoW's a real MMO, so there's a lot more actual things to do. So I can kind of see it. But my God, 35,000 hours. Yeah, I would say he would have the pinnacle opinion when it comes to WoW.
Single minute of it, but goddamn, I wouldn't want to do all that again. And so here's the point. I feel like every single online game, it doesn't matter whether you're playing Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, or New World, none of these things matter.
I just want to reference I've only played Call of Duty from that list. I don't play gachas, and I don't play like other MMOs. Like I've never played WoW. That's not true. Back in like early 2000, my friend encouraged me to go Walmart, and I bought like the base set, and then I got like a trial card for like 60 days or whatever it was. And I played it for one day. I killed a couple of wolves, and I was so confused. I was like, what is this garbage? And I know I'm going to trigger people, but hey, at the same time, I was playing RuneScape at the library. Like that before this, I would always go to my local library because I didn't have a computer. After school, after high school, I'd walk to the library and spend like an hour. That's the amount of time they would let us play before they kicked us out. It was like, if you ever went to the old libraries and the old Windows XP PCs, they would have like a timer in the corner, and they would count down, and then you could ask for more time. And sometimes you could convince the librarian, like, hey, I'm doing research for class. No, it wasn't. I was out there, I was scamming people on RuneScape, having them drop their money and then piecing out. I was a douchebag, by the way. But RuneScape was the game that I played. You know, I did that MMO. That was my experience. Maybe it's not even an MMO. It's the JRPG, I think. There's so many like blur of genres. Either way, that was the game I played. I didn't play WoW. And it wasn't that I didn't like the art. I just felt overwhelmed. I was also a really stupid kid.
Because all of these games follow the same DNA. And the DNA, if you want a very easy way to condense this down, it is keep you addicted and waste your time. That's basically what happens.
I want to focus on that keynote because like Destiny is a good example. Destiny does a lot of things that waste your time. It's meant for retention. It's the concept of we make you do X, Y, and Z for a long period of time, so you're in the game. And if you're in the game long enough, or like Destiny is supposed to be a free to play, but it's a free to try. But their hopes is if you spend enough time in their game, you will buy something from the in-game store for cosmetics and blah, 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 right? We want you in the game as long as possible. We want you building up retention. Obviously, they don't get paid for when you actually play the game. They get paid when you buy their crap, whether it be expansions, DLC, or in this case, cosmetics. They want you in the game so that you feel more inclined to pay. However, what Bungie and all these other game creators don't realize is when you make shitty game mechanics that are unfun and boring, players go somewhere else with their time. Like, you can't offer a pile of shit with sprinkles and try to tell them it is a sundae. You can't do that. You can't. Now, obviously, there's going to be people who are shit eaters. They're stupid. They're brain dead. And they will try to argue and justify their reasoning. Oh, you're wrong. Or they'll just, let's be honest, they don't actually say you're wrong. They just go directly for insults. Oh, you're fat. You got greasy hair. Shave your beard. Oh, you live in your, by the way, I loved when people said you live in your mom's basement. And I literally have windows right there. Like back in the day when I actually had light coming in, I remember live streaming and someone came in and said, you live in your mom's basement. I'm like, bitch, there's a window right there. What are you talking about? What? I love how stupid people are. They don't like it when you criticize their favorite thing, especially when their personality is attached to it. Yeah, I'm going on a tangent, so let's go back to the video.
And so people say, oh, well, you want instant gratification. You're goddamn fucking right I do. I'm playing a video game. If I didn't want instant gratification, I'd go back to my own boring real life. Of course I do. I don't want to spend 40 hours farming for some helmet. That's stupid. And
I know I'm stopping a lot, but there's a lot of correlation to what he says in his world and what happens in my world. As someone who does a lot of news and reacts to Destiny, and this world that I live in, it is comical because we have what's called crafting, where, you know, we have RNG, where you get random drops. Like in his instance, he's saying like armor, right? He's farming for an armor, but what if it was a weapon? Well, in Destiny, they introduced crafting, where you get so many of these collections of weapons, then you can just craft the perfect weapon from it, right? You get what's called red borders, and you can craft the perfect god roll. And you have it on demand, and people like that because, especially the casuals, or in this case, even veterans who don't want to waste 40 hours hunting for that weapon. You know, armor's a different situation. I think armor's a lot easier to get in most instances, but it's also it's not as necessary as getting the god roll of a weapon.
And I understand the irony of this, because as one of the residential spending 40 hours farming for a helmet YouTubers, over the years especially, I've done this a lot. Okay? I've even made guides on how to do it in only 38 hours and save a little bit of time. But nowadays I look at that and I just don't have the same outlook on life that I used to, and I cannot even fathom wasting my time in such a exorbitant way. And I think that this is a big thing for me. Like, I'm getting old. I'm 34 years old. And back in the
He's not that much older than me. That's unfortunate if he's already feeling like a boomer. I'm old. No, but I actually agree. I have found that I take advantage of exploits in video games more often than I used to. I used to be I'm not going to take advantage of any exploits because I'm a real gamer, and real gamers do things legit. I'm going to spend 40 hours instead of doing the cheesy stuff. I'm going to do everything as legit as possible so that when I show people, like, here's my emblem or here's my stats, I got this legit. I've got my big old dong on the table. Guys, I got master prestige legit. You guys are out there AFKing or doing cheesy bot lobbies or doing zombies or whatever the crap the people are doing nowadays that are triggering all the people on Call of Duty, I guess. I keep seeing it on Twitter. It's really comical. But like, I used to be one of those bros out there that was like, gotta do everything legit. I'm a real Chad. I'm a real gamer. At this point, I don't care. I will use whatever exploits. If it's in the game, I will use it. I will abuse it. I will use the cheesy stuff. The only thing I don't do, and I still don't do, is I don't cheat. Like, I don't use real cheats. If it's in the game, and it's fair game to me. But if it's outside the game, like programs, unless it's allowed, if it's a program that's allowed, I'll use it. But most cases, I'm not going to cheat on live service. Now, obviously, I do cheats and stuff for a single player game to do something different. I'll beat the game and I'll put mods and cheats and stuff like that to have a different experience, right? It's single player. Who gives a crap? But when it comes to live service games where you're actively grinding and playing with or against other people, I don't use cheats. However, if it's an exploit, it's fair game. If it's a glitch, it's fair game. I mean, I know some developers ban people for that, and I just don't play those games. All right, let's jump back into it.
Day, and you guys can tell me if this is true or not in the comments with you, is that back in the day when I would play online video games, the reason why I would play them is so I could show everybody else in the world that I was better than they were. And I got so...
I told you, holy crap, didn't even have to watch it, and I could, exactly, relatable, holy crap.
So caught up in this. I love being able to do this. This is my favorite thing to do. And it was a big sense of, pride for me in a way. And I actually don't, I don't see this as a bad thing really at all. I don't hate myself for this. I don't think I'm stupid for doing this. But it's just that at this point in my life, I'm no longer feeling that way about, about video games. I don't need to play a video game to show off that I'm better than somebody because, again, I just, I've gotten older. I don't really care that much about this anymore.
No, that we're older, we have more responsibilities, we're adults, and we're not I don't know about him. We're not trying to show off to our bros anymore because our bros are working and have families. I don't know, maybe I don't know anything about Asmongold. Does he have a family, a girlfriend, a wife? I don't know. Or boyfriend, I don't know what he's into. But we've got too much going on in our plate. We're adults. Gotta pay taxes. That was something I didn't have to worry about as a kid. But I was like showing off to my bros, like, yeah, look at me, Master Prestige. I'm so hot. Or I've got my 99 stat and wood cutting to my friend. I'm like, yeah, look at that. 99 suckers. Bet you wish you knew how to cut wood as good as me. I got my wood cutting cape. God, those were the times where that was the pinnacle of life, was having the mastery capes to show off at people, just walking around texting people. Bet you wish you knew how you could get this, huh?
Anymore. And so I just play video games. I don't know. Imagine this for fun. And so anyway, how do I get to this point? I get to this point and I look at video games and it seems like so many of them are infected with the exact type of rot, the exact same type of rot. And that is every 60 to 90, some of them they're a little bit different, but they're all basically the same paradigm. Every, few months or so, there is a battle pass, a season pass that probably has a paid version that is higher than that sometimes provides, actual good rewards, like things that are play for power, like, Star Rail or something like that. Or it just has cosmetics, like something like Curex Vault Pass in Path of Exile, as a general rule, right? Or the trading post in World of Warcraft that functions.
He's right. Everything has, I blame Fortnite because Fortnite really, I think, was one of the first ones to break this in, and Fortnite was just nothing but cosmetics, really. Nothing cosmetics and emotes and whatnot, right? Everyone has taken that formula and have just blasted it into everything. It used to be loot boxes. If you remember, before battle passes became the thing, it was loot boxes, and then people started trying to push for bans and legal legislation because it was gambling, and it really is gambling. People would spend thousands of dollars on these loot boxes, never get a guaranteed item, whereas battle passes was the way that game companies could get their money and gamers could get the crap that they wanted to spend that money on and guarantee it. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, I think a lot of people, it's subjective on the game. I think if the value proposition is there, is the value in the pass justifiable? Is the game itself justifiable to spend money on? Or is this game not putting effort into itself and you don't want to reward that lack of effort from the developers? My immediate thought is Halo Infinite. I feel like 90% of the game has been saved because of the community making forge maps for Halo Infinite. I don't spend a goddamn thing on the battle passes or season passes or what the hell, the operational passes, even though they are free at the get-go, and then if you miss it, you have to go pay for it, which I think is an interesting concept. You can go back and get those passes again, but you have to pay for them. I think that's really cool of Halo Infinite, is to be able to go back and use, get those previous passes. Most games don't do that, creating FOMO, and that's kind of what pushes the sales, is this sales FOMO. And I personally don't like it. I don't. I don't know how successful FOMO is versus having something up all the time. I do believe it has to attach itself to rarity, where people like to oh, I've got this thing and you don't. Aha. And you think, oh, that's silly. But you got to think about gamers. And I'll give you a perfect example. Destiny, there are people who are literally like, you get emblems, and like obviously Call of Duty and stuff has emblems and stuff like that. But in Destiny, there is so desperation for prestige that people will go and showcase emblems that you got from giveaways, or because you spent money at Bungie's store or bought like a product and it gave you a code. People are selling these codes for thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And people are like, oh, look at the price of my emblem. It's so rare and expensive. Like, oh my God, I got the rarest emblem ever. And you're sitting there like, who the fuck cares? But that's where we're at in the gaming. Like, people are so desperate to have some, I'm special in my own way in this video game because my life sucks. My personality is this video game. I want to feel special in video game. So I'm going to spend money on these cosmetics. I'm going to spend money on these things in this video game because I want to be better than someone else. That's the bottom dollar.
Functions as a battle pass. And so anyway, these things happen, and it makes me feel like every single one of these games is operating on this usually 60 to 90 day patch cycle that repeats the same content over and over. There's an event for different types of, like different types of social events, like, Chinese New Year. That's a really big one. You've got Halloween and all of these different events. And I feel like I
know this is a nitpick, but why didn't you just say Christmas? Like, Christmas is in everything. First Descendant, there's Christmas. Destiny, Christmas. Call of Duty, Christmas. I know that's a nitpick, but like, I don't know. I've not seen, I've seen a little bit in Destiny Chinese New Year. But I don't know about other games, but like, yeah, Christmas is kind of like you're always going to have something for Christmas.
I feel like oh wow, you hate Halloween events. No, I don't hate Halloween events, but every year when they have them, like, this is just really to sell skins, right? And when every single game is doing this, there's a certain sense of escapism that I'm looking for in a video game that really kind of evaporates when you see every single one using the exact same, content delivery method, right? And so I see these games with these battle passes every single time, and it makes me feel like I'm wasting my time doing them, because every time I fill up one of these battle passes, every time I complete a season journey, every time I, complete all of the tasks that have been allotted to me, well, then I wait for a few months and then I have to do the whole thing over again. That's my big reward. And all of them are built around...
Your reward is you get to spend more money and give it to them and do the same thing over again. I absolutely agree. I do think that the content itself is buying the content and unlocking said content that you paid for. And you're like, well, don't you do that for like armor and weapons and like raids and stuff like that? Sure, but you're actually participating in an activity that you paid for versus here's just this battle pass that is the content. Like, I think Fortnite's fine because the content, like if you played Fortnite, they have racing, they have Rock Band, they've got Lego Minecraft, they've got custom games like Forges from Halo, like you can make whatever you want. And then they have their Battle Royale. And now they're even coming out with new game modes where they're doing like CSGO first-person shooter, like, and it's 100% free. So when you look at the value proposition, what they're doing with the cosmetics and the battle pass, yeah. But then you look at like Call of Duty where there's a battle pass on top of another battle pass. Like there's a free battle pass, then there's a paid battle pass, then there's like a deluxe edition battle pass that you spend. And it's like, what the hell are we doing, man?
Some form of Fomo item. And I feel like Fomo is a very double-edged sword, and I think this is especially true with live service games. And what I mean by that is with a lot of live service games, how many of you guys played a live service game and you logged on every single day? You want to make sure every day you never miss that daily, right? Because you don't want to...
The only game I've ever played with where there was daily is Warframe. But Warframe, I really like it because it rewards you if you play longer. You can get like, I like it's funny because you're like, when you hear it and you're like, well, that's kind of sus or scummy. Like the longer you get percentages off, like 20%, 50% off on their in-game currency. When you realize that the game is 100% free, you can buy their currency to circumvent farming and all this other stuff. So the fact that they give you a discount for your weekly, your daily login, you can get like from ranging depending. That's pretty cool. Like you can get a discount and you get other benefits like So you get some really good modifications that you use in game, completely free, like, and you get material, all that stuff. And I think that's fine. I think that's fine because it's a free to play game, 100% free. You can get everything in the game without spending a dime. You don't have to. You can do everything. Now, will you have to spend some time in it? Absolutely. But I think Warframe is one of those games where the farm is not nearly as bad compared to other games that really nickel and dime you. They really put in a horrible system for grinding because they want you to feel obligated to spend money. Again, I think there's good examples of games that don't do that, and I think there's some fair farms, whereas some games are more leaning towards the other end where they just want you to spend money, and they're going to make the grinding process. How do I circumvent this farm? Give me you money.
Fall behind. And so you do that, and one day you miss it. It's like, man, I missed it. Okay, well, I'm going to log on the next day. I'm still doing it every other day, so it's fine. And so then later on, maybe you end up accidentally missing 3 days. And then you tell yourself, well, maybe, and this could be any period of time, not 3 days. It could be 3 weeks, 2 weeks, right? Every game is different. But you tell yourself, oh, well, now I'm so far behind, it's not really worth playing anymore because I can't catch up. And I think that's what ends up happening with a lot of people, is that FOMO is a great way to keep people in the game, but FOMO is also a great way to keep people out of the game.
I can't speak to this because Destiny doesn't do that. What Destiny does is FOMO on let's take an example. Right now is the Christmas event called the Dawning. You do the event. There's a bunch of weapons that you do. You give cookies. By the way, this event is totally ass, but we're not going to talk about that. The event, you give cookies, you get material, you get packages, then you can turn these packages into guns. These guns are limited to this event for like 2 weeks or so. And if you don't do it, you don't get access to these guns anymore. You're just bye-bye. So there's FOMO, and not only is there FOMO, but there's also this really pointless grind that makes you double dip and grinding different material, and you have to get hard to get material that's really boring, and it's a very slow process. But the FOMO makes you want to continue to play the game because you want to get the guns. They're going to disappear, right? You want these pretty guns. Anyone that plays Destiny, the main reason you play is because the gunplay is really good, and you want those weapons. You want them, and so you're grinding out this activity, and it's a horrible experience. And the hope is that you buy their event card, because it's like their holiday battle pass, but it's an event card. You can get there's a free section, but there's also the give us your money, and you get this other section, and you get a bunch of cosmetics, and you get a shader, which is like a color scheme for your characters and guns. And that's what most people buy it for, to be honest. But it's just there to drive up sales. Then you have all the holiday cosmetics that only is around for the specific amount of time. Oh, guys, you want these holiday cosmetics? You got to get them now, because then you're going to have to wait next year. But wait, they may not be around next year. We might shuffle the store around. So that being said, if you really want it, you got to get it now. And so it's just those kind of tactics that really kind of drive me bananas, that the focus is less on the event and more on how can we just squeeze whatever amount of money we can out of the players. And there are brain dead pay pigs that will spend their money on these events instead of like actively wanting the game to improve.
And so more and more, as I'm spending my time doing other things that I find to be more enjoyable, the appeal of trying to continuously play an online video game to catch up and to keep up with all the FOMO rewards, it becomes more onerous, more of a pain in the ass, and just more of, let's just be honest, guys, it's more of a waste of time. And so this is something that, and what's very weird for me talking about this, and I'm sure a lot of people will be kind of shocked to hear this, because I used to be the person who was the most fixated on this. I would never miss anything in WoW. I would never do anything. I would always make sure I get everything done and be a complete completionist, right? And I feel like being a completionist completely wastes my time. So I stopped doing it.
I think he's exactly right. In Destiny, you had like triumph score, like you had special titles and seals that you could unlock, or guild, which is like do certain objectives, and you can make it gold for part of the season until the next season resets it, and you do the process over again. Used to do like try to 100% do all the triumphs, the achievements, try to do like even on other games besides Destiny. Used to be an achievement hell try to unlock everything. Nowadays, I just don't care. Like, it was cool back then. Like, oh, look, I got such a big score. And now it's like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to do chores. And some of these triumphs are so taxing. They're not even like fun challenges. Like, I love the games where they make you do crazy things. That like, kill 3 people with 1 shot. Do a trick shot from your window. Jump off the edge of a building and 360 no scope drop kick grandma into the bridge or something. Like, it's some kind of random thing that's fun. But then you have like triumph score where it's kill 5,000 things while not taking damage and make sure you pick X, Y, and Z materials, 3,000 materials, or throw 300 snowballs. Wow, that's fun. Those are exciting. I can't wait to get my seal or my title that I can only have 1 equipped, but there's like 30 of them. Cool.
And it sounds like such a, an obvious thing to do, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are stuck in that hamster wheel, and they feel like if they get off of the hamster wheel, then they've wasted all their time on the hamster wheel, so they can't get off because of sunk cost fallacy. And it's like, I remember when Blizzard,
or in my case, Stockholm Syndrome,
made the $90, I can't even believe this, $90 store mount. They put this out there, and I'm seeing people...
Wait. There was a $90 store. I don't even know what that is, but I'm thinking like Diablo 4, where there was a 60. Wait, was it? Did he say WoW or Diablo?
$90 store mount. I remember when Blizzard made the $90, I can't even believe this, $90 store mount. They put this out there, and okay. I'm seeing people in the comments, oh my God,
He said Blizzard, but is he talking about WoW or is he talking about Diablo? Because Diablo had the same thing where it was like all the cosmetics is like, there was a cosmetic that was the price of the goddamn game. And it's really stupid that we have cosmetics that are either the price of the game or half the price. Like, what is wrong with you? And I'm not even saying like the hustle from the companies. The gamers are so stupid.
Gonna have to buy this because I want to get all the mounts, but it's so expensive. It's like, what do you mean you have to buy this? What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? You have to buy this. And the thing is that, I mean, I could also be talking to myself from 10 years ago, and that's the really ironic thing about it. And so the reason I'm making this video is to express kind of my current state of mind. I still like online video games. I can still play them for fun, but I can never really fully invest into them because I feel like so many systems and mechanics inside of them are designed to waste your time. And I've noticed this, and I contrast it with something like Elden Ring, or I contrast it with something like that I've been playing a lot recently. Metaphor ReFantagio.
A lot of these games I've not played. I tried playing Monster Hunter. Not played Elden Ring yet. I'm going to in the summer. I don't have no idea what game he's talking about, unfortunately.
Amazing, incredible game. I loved it. I ended up taking a day off today. I've been playing it all day. It's been really fun. And so I see these other single-player games that they don't make you sit through, 4 or 5 hours of meaningless, annoying activities in order to get the reward. They just give you the reward. And the reason why is because they've already got their reward. They've already got your money. So it doesn't matter to them anymore.
Which is crazy. When you have games like Call of Duty, where you have games like Destiny, where you pay the price up front to have the game. Then they try to double, triple dip, quad dip by making you pay $30 for Battle Pass or expansions and all this stuff. It's crazy when you think that we used to get a new game and every other year. It was a full on thing but now we get less for the same price. Like, expansions are the same price as a new game. It is crazy how we've fallen from the digital gaming grace. Like, I remember buying Call of Duty and being excited for it. Now every year I'm wondering, is this going to be another stinker? Am I going to waste my money? Is this going to be good? Or there's another new live service app. Like, I can't get addicted to this because they're just going to waste my time and I'm going to hate myself for it. I'm just going to hate myself.
or like whether you're you know, spending more time on the game. They just want the time that you spend on the game to be as meaningful and fun as possible. And I compare that with online video games, and it's like, okay, well, you know, every time that you go on a loading screen, there's an advertisement for a skin. Every time that you open up the menu, there's
no, it's not just a skin. You get an advertisement for this new ship or this new thing for buy this expansion or get you know, obviously there's games like First Ascendant, like you get this new waifu and see her undies or see her in a bikini, like, or on the opposite side of that is, don't you guys want to buy this and look like this sick Chad? It's just Destiny, like, the new player experience is comical because as soon as you load up in Destiny, you are hit with so many ads. Buy this expansion, buy this expansion. This is out now. Buy this dungeon, buy this. And you're, as a new player, you're overwhelmed. You're like, what the fuck is this? I'm just trying to play your shitty game. Why are you hitting me with all these ads to buy your shit? Like, what the hell, man?
There's another advertisement for the store. Every time that you open up the launcher, there's an advertisement for, you know, like a battle pass, right? And so all of the different tools in online video games are designed to try to keep you playing the game as long as possible, but the quality of that entertainment, I do think, is lower. But I think it's a mindset shift that I've had where I used to always think that, you know, being good at a video game doesn't matter if you can't beat other people at it, right? And I was thinking to myself, and that's how I always felt, but then I realized to myself, beating people at a video game doesn't really matter either because it's a video game. So
I've come to the age where I love people. Like, I was on Twitter, and it's just a side tangent. I'm on Twitter talking about a thing, and I see someone who's asking a question regarding like something to do that's somewhat connected to online play, person for PvP, and this dude's like, you're such a scrub. I can't believe you would ask something like that, or I can't believe it's obvious you've never played PvP or you're a bad player. And the dude's just literally asking a question, like he didn't know. He's just asking a question, and this guy's just this hateful little for like no reason. And so I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna be a Twitter dude. And I said, hey, why are you being an asshole? Like, what's this have to do with PvP? And dude's like going on, and he looks up my name on the game. He's like, what? You only have a 1.2 KD or 1.20 KD or 6 KD? Oh my God. Like, you're such an ass player. Like, there are real people whose personalities and identity is tied to KD or how many people they killed or how hard their ranking is. And it is pathetic. And I used to be one of those people when I was a kid. What's sad is that we have grown-ass adults who are still following this trend. It's like, bro, you are never going to get married. No one is going to have your children because you have a 2-point KD in Destiny or Call of Duty. Like, you're not going into esports. No one's going to fondle your balls because, oh my God, you know how to aim a gun in a digital world. Wow, you're really good. It is comical, the day and age we live in where grown adults are still acting like children.
So kind of shocking, isn't it? And again, guys, comment down below if this is something that this is a revelation that's also occurred to you. And so I see these things where it's like these 90-day reward structure cycles that repeat, and they usually power creep each other. So it's like if you work really hard in a game, this is something that Classic WoW always did really well. I'm a Classic Andy in a lot of ways. Is that if I took a break in BWL and AQ and Nax came out, well, I could come back and I'd still be in BWL. It's not like I would just be kind of accelerated to Nax and all of my effort that I had put previously would be invalidated. But I feel like a lot of video games have a reset power creep cycle that happens on a cyclical basis that's generally correlated with either a seasonal model or a battle pass model. And these types of mechanics,
I don't generally, because I'm stuck. Either I'm playing Destiny, Warframe, or like the First Ascendant. The First Ascendant kind of does fit that model for sure, and so is Call of Duty. Warframe, they have their own way of they do stuff. And I've been playing more of like single player Andy's, like he said he's been doing, like I've been doing that a lot too. And also been playing a lot of old classic games as well. So when it comes to like the model, he's not wrong. Like a lot of people are doing the same copy paste model.
Are tiresome. They're very tiresome to me. And as I've spent a lot of time playing these games, I've realized that I'm not really having as much fun completing these tasks because of the inevitable futility of it, where ultimately I'm not really going to be able to achieve anything in this game. Not like it matters, but it feels like it matters. Again, if you like playing these games and you're having fun, then that's all that matters. That's literally all that matters. Like, you don't need to justify it to me. You don't need to justify it to anybody. But I think that what happens is that a lot of times people put the expectation of like, oh, am I having fun, with how many other people are having fun the same way. And
I think a lot of people also try to convince themselves they're having fun, or that, you know, if the game developer is taking something that's fun and they're making the game worse, people like to convince themselves, well, I'm still able to have fun, or I'm having a good time, so I'm going to ignore all the negative stuff and act like it doesn't exist. And I'm not going to give any criticism, because if I give criticism, that's going to change the status quo, where I'm not going to no longer enjoy the game, which is kind of a fallacy, because if they improve the game, it would improve it for you as well. But people don't like to think about that. They like to see criticism as a threat to their personality, the threat to their fictional world. It's all they know, because, you know, their life is, I guess, sad enough that they have to live in a digital world because their outside world sucks that bad. And so if you start attacking that personality, you know, Destiny, Call of Duty, I guess maybe, I don't know about how WoW is. You start attacking these games, your personality is being attacked, because you've now encompassed your world as your reality, as your personality. And you don't want change. You like, I don't want to change, so my game doesn't need to change. This is my world. This is my personality. I'm not changing it. And it is full on weird that people don't want to see things improve when it will benefit you. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
And so for me, moving over to playing a lot more single player games, I don't have to keep up with like, you know, like really fastly evolving metas. You know, I'll log in, like everybody's playing and grinding. It's hard to play a competitive game like that unless you're playing it all the time, because of just how fast information travels now online.
I know I'm pausing a lot, and I just give it some space. That's also a reason why I don't take games like Destiny or Call of Duty competitively seriously. I play very casual. Like, sure, there's times where I'll sweat my balls off in Call of Duty or Destiny PvP, and I will go ham. I'll just go nuts to butts, and I'll have that moment. But I don't want to do that every single game. Sometimes I want to do things stupid. I want to play with an unmeta stuff. I want to play different things a different way. I want to be goofy and silly and try trick shots or do crazy things, or just play very casually because I just want to shoot something and not think about it, right? I want to turn my brain off. So I've stopped trying to be the best at everything, because sometimes you don't need to be the best. Just play the game, have fun. Not everything has to feel like you're playing Call of Duty esports or whatever, insert esports. Like, I'm not getting paid for it, so why am I sweating my nuts off? I don't understand why everyone has to make something into a high competitive situation. It's crazy. Just take a chill pill. It's a game. Enjoy it.
And ultimately, I'm playing these games. I can't really, maintain a degree of like, maybe like competitive nature, right? Because, and also some people might say skill issue, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't even really care. It's not really that big.
And, exactly. You would have to spend hours in a game. Like, I'm going to give you a sense. Back when I was a kid, like middle school, I used to play Halo 2, Halo 3 religiously. I was a monster in Halo rank. I was a god, because that's all I played. I had no friends except for the people that I would talk to occasionally on the game chat. But I had no friends. Every day after school, if I wasn't playing Pokemon on my Game Boy or whatever, my DS, I was playing Halo. I was playing non-freaking stop. And when you spend time on something, yeah, you're eventually going to get good at it. You're going to understand like the maps. You're going to understand how people play. And so, yeah, I was really good at it, but I also had a lot of free time. I'm an adult with a full-time job. I don't have time to play one game. I don't have the patience to play one game. I don't want to have the skills to be the best at one game. I'd rather be very casual and like average in a bunch of other games. So that way I can feel like, oh, well, I'm tired of this game. I'm going to play this game instead of feeling like I can be a one game Andy. It's just when you grow up and you realize life isn't about being the best. It's just having a good time, because you're not here for a long time. You should be here for a good time. I know that's like the stupid saying that they used to say all the time. It pisses me off, but it's very relatable here. Like we're really not here for a long time on this planet, so you might as well enjoy what you can and stop wasting your time on this crap that doesn't matter.
Big of a deal to me. I just want to play the game and have fun. And if I'm getting fucking destroyed, like how many of you guys used to play Fortnite and you stopped playing it because, you know, you build like your little, okay, all right, you son of a bitch, you come over here. And then over there, he's building the Eiffel fucking Tower. And you feel like a clown and you lose. And so you just lose interest in playing the game. I think that's what's...
Fortnite with building is meant for, it's a young man, young kid game. I have never been able to really crack into building, and I never will.
Happen with a lot of online games because everybody's wanting to make a name for themselves. You know, like for a lot of people out there, it's, I wouldn't say, you know, kind of, it's a job for them, right? They're doing this as a career. So they want to be as competitive and as good at this game as possible. And I think the reality of that is that there's so many people out there that it really makes it hard for an average player to have fun playing one of these games when metas and skill caps evolve so fast that you have to maintain a certain degree of consistency playing it, or you're probably not going to have a good time because you're going to get skill gapped or power crept.
And I feel like Apex Legends was a perfect example. Like I wanted to get into it. Someone was like, hey, play Apex Legends. The skill curve is so steep. Like the people that are good are absolutely going to destroy you. Like you're going to have no shot, no chance. You're just going to die. It is crazy the curve that there are in some games where new players just have no shot. You either are cracked at those kind of games in general naturally, or you're just going to get creamed.
Depending on what the game is. And in fact, in some of them, it's actually both. And so what's happened is that I've kind of realized this cycle of futility, and I've realized that, like, why am I trying to keep up with this to, like, maintain the same amount of effort and time when, you know, again, why wouldn't I want to have my cake and eat it too, right? Why would I want to invest a huge amount of time into something like this that I'm not really enjoying? And I feel like another thing is daily rewards or weekly rewards. A lot of these online video games, they have like a reward structure that is very front-loaded, which means that you're getting 80% of the rewards in like 5% of the time, and then you spend the other 95% of the time getting the remaining 20% of the rewards. So they're designed for you not to play a lot and to basically stay on this treadmill and move at the pace that they've set for you. And I also find this to be very fatiguing as well, because there's some days
I'm going to say right now, I have not run into this. I don't know if this is like a gotcha game situation, but the game passes to which I have played, like even like Call of Duty, I feel like it goes pretty fast. What I do want to say is that like leveling up guns, like when you level up the guns, leveling up the guns unlocks new attachments, and then you can take those attachments to PvP or to like the Battle Royale Warzone. So you want to spend your time unlocking all these attachments like Call of Duty, but the problem is it takes so goddamn long. So you're spending like 30 guns and you have to get to level 42 or whatever, 30 to 40 levels in each gun. Even with like a double XP thing, it feels like a grind. And you're like, what is this? And so it's very artificial to make you continue to play the game, which is what they want you to do, because then if you're playing the game and you're like, oh, well, here's this nice new skin for the gun that you've learned to really use and you enjoy using it, you can also circumvent the fact that you don't have this attachment unlocked, because this gun automatically has this attachment unlocked. So you don't have to grind it nearly as much. You can just buy this pre-made gun that's competitive and it looks badass and it shoots out lasers. Like, that's kind of the territory we're at with that. And it's kind of scummy.
I don't really want to play at all. And other days where days where I want to play maybe 6 hours, 8 hours. And I feel like that time and effort isn't rewarded in a proportional level. And it feels like my time is being disrespected. And I think that's really a fundamental concern that I have too, is that
I think that sentiment is something that echoes to other parts of other live service games. Like, again, being a dead horse, Destiny. There are so many pointless grinds. Like, I'll even point out, like, Destiny has currency caps. Like, you think of like gold from like Diablo or RuneScape, where you can get millions of gold and you're good. Destiny, there's a cap on the currency, which is called Glimmer, and it goes up to 500K, and that's it. You can't store it. You can't do anything. You get it, and that's it. You don't gain any more. So you use it, and then when you run out, then you have to go play the game and reaccumulate it, but you can't store it, and it only goes up 500K. It is intentionally made to bottleneck the players, to force you to play longer. It is bad. It is not good. It is such a bad experience, and I hate games that do some kind of mechanic like that. Destiny is the most egregious when it comes to currencies, but they bottleneck certain things in order to force you to continue to play the game, even though if the game itself was fun or enjoyable, you would be doing that anyways. But I digress.
I think a lot of these online games are built with systems that are cynically designed to waste your time in the most, like subversive way possible. And I see this happen a lot. And this is also, this is the worst thing, is that, oh, wow, you don't like grinding? Oh, you're not a fan of that? You don't have time? Well, guess what? We have the solution for that. We've created the problem, and now you're going to pay us to solve it. So there's like these...
What's funny is that Bungie hasn't done that. Like I was talking about the currency caps, Bungie doesn't even do that because they know the community is so on their ass, like specifically this game, that if they try to do that, the community would literally come at them with pitchforks. If you tried to sell currency, they would absolutely be destroyed because the system that's in place is so scummy as it is. Trying to also try to sell it, they would just be like thrown off a cliff. It is crazy how Destiny is like, has these bad systems, but at the same time, Bungie's not willing to do what like other games are willing to do, like sell gold or sell or currency that you could use. They obviously sell currency in the form of a shop store currency to buy cosmetics, but that's as far as Bungie has gone, except for the moment when they try to sell you guns and exotics. People rioted, and within the same day they removed the starter pack. By the way, Bungie tried to sell a starter pack for $15 with a bunch of guns. Nothing's better than trying to screw over your new players by selling them guns. Yep. Well, that didn't last long. It lasted a day.
Pay for convenience, pay for, power systems. So it's like, oh, well, I can't keep up all the time and I can't play all the time, so I'm going to spend money on the game. And I think that some people have rationalized this into becoming normal. I don't think that it's normal at all. Who decided that you have to pay money to advance in a video game? Like, who decided, oh, because you don't have time, now you...
And it's not even just live service. Single player games do time savers. Like, what you've got, I'm sorry, you've got to be a bitch if you're wasting time savers, if you're buying time savers. Now, granted, some developers make their game really long intentionally. They add time, like they make you travel across the world for no goddamn reason. There's no fast travel, but wait, you can pay for a fast travel. You can pay for this, or you need to level up quickly so you can go fight the next boss. Oh, well, you can buy this time saver, this boost to whatever, right? And there's been multiple games that have tried doing different versions. Like I know there was the drama of Devil May Cry doing like you can buy the blood orbs to upgrade your perks and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of moments in single player games where companies have tried it. I'd highly disagree with it. I think the only thing you should be selling that I would even accept in a single player game is add-ons. That's it. And I'm not talking about like cosmetic add-ons. Like, sure, like I remember buying Fabled Anniversary and they sold like costumes that you probably should have been able to earn in game, but you just bought it. It's whatever. But realistically, I feel like most things should be earned in game for single player. I'm okay with expansions and extra missions and stuff like that, something you spend money on, but like items that should be earned from missions should not be sold in a store.
You have to pay money. Well, I'll tell you who decided that. The people you're paying money to. Yep. This is a completely invented problem that you could solve with 50 different solutions, but big surprise, the one solution that keeps being used is the one that's the most beneficial to the people that are making the games. And again, that's fine if you like this kind of stuff. I don't. I feel stupid. I feel stupid paying to win, and I feel stupid playing free to play. I feel stupid for playing it at all. And so I thought to myself, am I going to spend my whole day being stupid? Yeah. But not that stupid. That's terrible. And so I quit playing. And so I felt these different systems, and it's like every game has these. It's not like one game has this. Every online video game follows these same content delivery structures. They follow the same reward structures. They follow the same progression structures. They follow the same store models. And it doesn't even matter what the genre is. How is it that you can have a game that is about shooting people with guns that is fundamentally the same as a game that's killing dragons, or a game that's like an anime waifu collector? Really? Call of Duty's got the same progression standard, kind of? I mean, in an abstract sense. So Honkai Star Rail, what the hell is going on? And as soon as I've realized this, I've taken a step back. And I've tried to have fun playing video games.
Boom. There it is. I agree. I absolutely agree. I've taken a step back from like Destiny, that's in other MMOs, like First Ascendant I want to go back to, but mostly I like Call of Duty is like the exception because I play zombies and stuff like that, and I can do that without having like to deal with anything else. But overall, like, he's right. It is, everything's just a copy pasta, the same thing, it's the same process. Give me money to do X, Y, and Z. I hate it. And you know whose fault it is? It's the consumer's fault. We've just accepted this as reality. We've accepted, like, hey, now I do think there is like a push for better quality. It's slowly happening as gamers are finally getting tired. Like, unfortunately, it's also merging with the anti-woke movement and all this crap that's on the sidelines. But I think there is a voice that's starting to appear where people are like, give us good games. And I think that should be the focus. We want good games that respects our time and isn't wasting it. Because the most rare currency in any video game or any like part of reality is time. It's irreplaceable. You can't just pay for it. You can't swipe your card. As much as the whales love to swipe the card, you can't get that back. So if you waste your time in a game that doesn't respect you, and sure, you could circumvent farms with swiping your card, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes there's games that you do grinds that they just want you in the game long enough to buy just cosmetics. It's not about like buying time savers or skips or free upgrades. It's just, we want you to buy our crap, so we want you to continue to playing the game as long as possible.
And that's where I'm at now. I've been playing a lot of video games that are single player, that I feel respect my time a lot more, that I feel are paced in a way that's not disrespectful, and I think they're really fun. And I'm not thinking about who is, like, who am I beating at the game, or, where am I on a leaderboard? It doesn't matter where I am on a leaderboard. It's a fucking video game. It gives a shit. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. And it's been great. And so I wanted to make this video and talk to you guys about where I'm at personally, why I haven't been playing a lot of these online video games, and why I've fallen out of favor with it. I yearn for the day that there is an online video game that makes me want to waste my time. But right now there's not. And so I'm stuck here being a boomer, playing single player games, and that's just about it. And I hate to say it, guys, but I'm happy. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this a little bit, give some of the different little paths.
Okay, I'm gonna end there. My takeaway is I absolutely agree. I don't know about like feeling like a boomer. Like, dude, stop trying to making me feel old. But I absolutely agree with his takes. I absolutely like. I want to say like, what's my reaction to him as old? People are gonna want to know like, oh, you. I agree with what he's saying and how he views live service. Absolutely agree, 100% to the T. Like, I feel like we could like, if I was like online, this is probably one of those dudes in like LFG that I would chat with and like we would connect and like get along with. How do I feel about him? Like, one video is not going to give me a personality check. I think he's pretty chill. Is it like, I don't see immediately any reason why people hate him. Looks like a dude, a gamer, got a beard, has long hair. I guess he's got it tied. The room is a hot mess, but I can't say anything because I cleaned up a while ago. I still have like, I got McDonald's and Taco Bueno cups. Like, I've got to clean up my area. Hell, I even got like Mountain Dew. Like, I'm not going to say anything about his room because my room just like, even my freaking Christmas tree is not even freaking done because I'm too lazy to put lights on it. Like, I don't know. I've heard a lot about like tidbits about him. I don't know. You can sound off if there's another video to kind of check out to get more of a vibe check. I think he's pretty cool. Maybe, you know, down the line we'll react more to his videos. Seems like a dude I would chill and talk with. That's my vibe check so far. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Link will be down below for you guys to check it out. As always, again, I agree with everything he says. Live service games are becoming a dumpster fire. And that's my final say on that. Like, it's just, they're giving us ice cream, you know, ice cream. They're giving us piles of shit and putting sprinkles and saying it's a sundae, and we're eating it. And it's our fault, unfortunately. As gamers, it's our fault. We're allowing it. And I'm tired of eating shit. So he's right. I've been going to single players too. Single player games are just, that's where they're at. But even the single player games are starting to become the shit sundae that you don't want. And they try to tell you that you're the problem if you don't like it. And I hope we continue to push back on this mentality of it's for the developers and it's not for the fans. Everything that is a video game should be meant for the fans. That we are consumers. We're spending our time, not just our money, but also our time. And we should be the target audience and our time should be respected. And that's my final thoughts. Hit the like button. I hope you enjoyed this hour. Of course, I turn in 20-minute video and react into an hour, but I have a lot to say when it comes to live service because I live in that world with Destiny and some other games as well. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always,